Welcome back to Good Morning Wilmington. I'm your main man, Big Ive, and I'm here with my lovely co-host,
Vincenza.
And Vincenza, we have a capeless, another capeless superhero that's in the building, Henry Hank Rose, who is a Wilmington firefighter inspector, but most of all, we're celebrating his 13th year of his kidney transplant. Hank, what's up, bro?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
How you doing,
well.
man?
I can't complain.
13
Rather, I
years.
won't complain.
You won't complain. And why won't you complain?
I won't complain. People ask me that all the time. I'm not a religious person, but Dr. Paul Jones, a gospel singer, has a song, and his song is "I Won't Complain." And then being a DJ for over 30 years, eclectically, my musical palette, he's one of the guys that that song just kind of rings in my head every single day. Like, I could be mad about a multitude of different things, but for what? I won't complain.
My man, my man.
Well, I was going to say, please say what you're going to say.
Congratulations,
Yes.
13 years.
Yes, congratulations.
Yeah, I said it was 13 years the 23rd.
Thursday.
Last Thursday.
Last Thursday.
Beautiful.
Last Thursday, the 23rd.
So let's go back. I know Hank for years, and we're brothers, cousins, all that, right? Take it back to what happened, how you found out that you needed a transplant.
So, as you alluded to at the top, I've been a firefighter. It'll be 20 years in September that I've been on the job here in the city of Wilmington. And we have routine physicals that we have, fitness for duty exams every single year. So in November of 2008, we were going through the process of our fitness for duty exams. And they said that my creatinine levels were high in my blood work. So they asked me to go see my doctor, went to see my primary care. They ran some more blood work. And this was now in December. And they said, hey, listen, your levels are kind of high. You need to go see a nephrologist. So then in January, I went to go see the nephrologist, and he says, right now your kidneys are operating at 20%. You need to go to the transplant center. So instead of sending me up to PA, they sent me to Christiana Care. Christiana Care's transplant team, so I was there in February. When I got there in February, they told me, hey, listen, if you don't get transplanted by Labor Day, you're gonna be on dialysis.
Wow.
So you can imagine my surprise, been on the job.
Wow.
Am I gonna lose my job? What's gonna happen?
Right.
Just being a little bit scared, having a wife and 3 kids at this point, it's like, what's next? What's gonna happen for me?
Right.
It's scary to be told this, this level of news. I mean, it was obviously severe and took you by surprise.
Very much so. But the funny thing is that when I found out, I didn't skip a beat. And I don't mean that to say that with my chest out, but I didn't, unfortunately for me and unfortunately for other people who go through the same process, I didn't experience any pain, I didn't have any issues. My only thing was orange juice. The taste of orange juice made me want to throw up or made me feel nauseous often at times, but other than that, to sum it up, so I worked 24 hours of overtime on a Saturday. Sunday morning was Father's Day. I had my pre-surgical workups on Monday. I was transplanted on a Tuesday. So I worked all the way up until I got transplanted.
And they get a kidney transplant, it usually takes people years to find a donor, right? And so you go through this, I don't want to say unscathed. I don't want to say that. You went through this just like a walk in the park, right? Who was your donor? Where did they find your donor?
So, quick statistics, if I could.
Please,
so
please.
there's roughly there's about 10 people that are added to a transplant list every single hour, right? There's roughly 20 people a day that die waiting for a kidney transplant. There's roughly about 5,000 men, women, and children, southern New Jersey, eastern Pennsylvania, northern Delaware, that are waiting for a transplant, where kidneys being the highest one. There's roughly about 95,000 plus people nationwide waiting for a kidney transplant. So your odds of getting one are extremely slim. So once you get on the list and you're waiting, so I just was like, well, I guess I'm gonna be out of luck. Waiting on the list, I'm probably be on dialysis, things gonna have to change.
What's the criteria for getting that match?
A transplanted kidney from a deceased donor usually lasts roughly about 12 years. Whereas if you're getting from a family member, per se. It can last a lot longer, but a lot of attributing factors, which could be lifestyle, exercise, diet, things of that nature. Making sure you take your medication on time so you don't risk the chance of rejection. But for me, I didn't want anyone in my family to be a part of, they're all going through their own health issues, but I talked to my family. I didn't want my kids to get involved, and my wife was extremely adamant about, well, let me just go ahead and try and go through the motions. There's roughly about, and don't quote me, but roughly about 5 precursors that they look for a genetic match. So I went through the process. My wife went through all the testing and found out she was an exact match.
Wow.
And she fit roughly 3 out of 5 of those precursors.
Hank, how did you feel at that moment when you found out that your wife was an exact match?
Honestly, I didn't want her to do it because I was thinking about the kids. Like if something happened to one of them or something else happened to her, what's next? I didn't want any complications.
Right.
But hats off to Dr. Velma Scanterbury. If you don't know her, that's my homegirl. I keep up with her regular. She's a dope individual, the first black female do transplants here in the United States. She's wonderful. She was the one who cut me open. Dr. Swanson cut my wife open. And it's been good ever since, man.
Wow, I didn't know Dr. Scantlebury did that.
Oh
did
yeah,
yours?
that's my girl. That's my girl, man. Yeah, she's amazing. She's taught me a lot, and I have to give kudos to the team at that time at Christiana Care. They were very caring, very understanding and thorough. There's a lot of financial things that go along with making sure that you're straight. It's a very expensive surgery.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sure. And the mental pressure and stress that it causes, not just yourself, but your wife and your family. You're going through this together. Yes, obviously you're the one that needs the kidney transplant, but you're going through this hurdle as a family. And obviously, you're here to tell the story, and inspire others, and educate them about Christiana Care has a great doctor. Obviously, a really, really good doctor, which I did not know that.
You have to meet her.
That we have such an incredible doctor right here in the state of Delaware.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Dr. Scantlebury and I believe also Dr. Swanson no longer are part of that team. But
Okay.
but you don't have to go to PA. You don't have to look outside of Delaware if you're a
right.
resident here. If you need kidney care, there are plenty of nephrologists that you can go see in the area. Mine was Dr. Gavin. He's a real cool guy. Loves airplanes. If you need somebody, go check him out. But do your own homework. Do some
right.
research.
And speaking of that, you're still a firefighter for Wilmington Fire Department.
Yes.
And what has that support been like from them?
Yeah, a lot of the guys that I've known since I've been on the job have continually supported me time and time again. They understand, that the trials and tribulations, taking your medication every day, being on point, but given the multitude of things we're exposed to, carcinogens, cancer-causing carcinogens, and all that stuff is, you have to make that's like the second level of hell, if you will, to be concerned about. When you're already worrying about ensuring that your body's healthy regularly, and then you have all these other outside factors just doing in the nature of the job that we do as firefighters.
Now, were you still, up until you becoming an inspector, which was just in January? Just in January.
Yes, sir.
You were still running, putting the equipment on, running through the homes if the house caught on fire?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Well, thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you.
And he's a Navy vet as well. My man.
Wow.
My man.
Yeah, but kudos definitely goes to my wife.
Yeah, Erica.
Yeah, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be able to be here to have a conversation with you guys today, just to give people some quick background and information on, kidney disease and how important it is to take care of your health. But
Well, let's talk about that kidney disease, because there's I'm the type 2 diabetic, right? And what I found out in a little bit of research is that your kidneys can be affected from diabetes,
Yes.
and then next thing you know, I've heard some people dialysis, and then eventually probably needing a transplant. How important, or what advice would you give someone about health right now, especially this time in Delaware?
My unqualified opinion, continually exercise.
Okay.
Right? Every single day, get out there and exercise, find something to do,
Yes.
have regular checkups. These days, a lot of young people choose to hop from job to job, right? Because it's about that money, maybe it's just a generation that they're in, but they tend not to worry about or focus on their health. You know, they don't think about, hey, if something does go wrong, maybe I'll just come out the pocket. But if you're not making enough money, if you don't secure some type of some good health care and benefits, but do regular checkups, go to your doctor, ensure that you pay attention to detail, ask about your numbers, get blood work, that's important.
Yes.
Urinalysis, make sure you get your urinalysis done, and do it regularly. I would say at the very least every 3 months, get a checkup.
Okay.
Right.
I feel that you're very qualified.
Right. Thank
I feel
you,
that you're the
Vincenzo.
person, but I feel that you've gone through it, and your family has gone through it. You can speak on this from a personal experience, and yes, you're inspiring others, but you're also educating others about this, that you have to go for regular checkups, and if you do have a problem, whether it's kidney disease or something else, you should be taking your medicine, eating healthy, exercising regularly, but also that mental toughness that you show and that you exude.
Right.
That's
Navy. I think that's Navy.
Yeah, but I think it's resonating still, and I
Right.
think that is so important that you're mentally strong.
Yeah.
And mental toughness is key, and we talk about mental health, mental health checks, but you clearly have obviously a strong foundation and an amazing support system and a very strong wife.
Thank you, appreciate
Where's
that.
she at? She's supposed to be here.
You know, hopefully she's watching.
She's
and she was
definitely
working,
watching.
and she
Okay.
couldn't. I texted her right before to say, hey, it's coming up soon, so
Okay.
She's
I have
definitely
to definitely get a
watching.
copy from you guys.
Yes. Shout out to Erica. Erica, thank you so much for
Yes.
holding my man together, for being there and supporting him. And I want to talk about his fam real quick.
Okay,
So
please.
his older son is where's your older son now?
He's in the Air Force now, so he finished boot camp back in April. He finished tech school just the beginning of this month in June, and now he's stationed at Bowling Air Force in D.C.
Nice.
He's doing
Nice.
good. He's doing good.
Nice. Love it. Love it. Love
Wow,
it. For the people that are just finding out that they're going to need a transplant, what advice would you give them as well?
Don't feel like you don't have any resources available to you. Definitely get with your doctor. If you don't have a primary care, now's the time to go look for one. Once you have that conversation with your primary care, and to be honest with you, it wasn't even my doctor, it was my nurse practitioner, Angela Barone. She's amazing.
Right.
She's since left my doctor's office, and she got her doctor's degree, and now she's teaching. But find yourself a primary care. Make sure you talk to him or her and explain to them your concerns, your issues. As they go over your numbers with you, they'll direct you in the right area. If you have medications, if you feel like you're feeling funny with some of the stuff that you're taking, because no one knows your body better than you.
Very
Right.
true.
Right? So, they may think something is good for you, but that particular dosage may give you, I've been there, give you headaches or, stomach aches,
The side effects.
plenty of side
Right.
effects. Mine was low magnesium, so they try to load me up with tons of magnesium. Nah, I'm not doing all that because it made your stomach feel irritable and things of that nature. So make sure you find yourself a good support system, someone you can confide and talk to, because as you alluded to, mental health is, honestly, that's probably the biggest part of the struggle.
I believe it.
Protecting your mind.
Protecting your mind, not
Yes.
giving up.
Have
But-
you ever felt like you wanted to give up?
Oh, absolutely. But and usually it comes from the fact that people might see me and might be like, all right, well, you staying slim, you looking good, you working, you haven't had any hiccups, but it's a challenge every single day.
Yes.
Pre-show, when you got people running around here wiring cords, making sure everybody's mic is right, it's a struggle, and one little hiccup can ruin the whole thing. So, yeah, I may wear it well at
I
times,
was
but often
just
I may
thinking
wear
that.
it well at times and go throughout the day, and it looks good, but ultimately sometimes it's days when I'm like, man, I just don't feel like doing this today. Like it's stressful, it's frustrating.
But knowing your limits is important too.
Absolutely.
And coming and admitting that to yourself.
Right.
Okay, today's going to be a bad day, but that's okay. I will bounce
Right.
back tomorrow. Those minor setbacks are okay. And I think that's another thing, going back to mental health, that it's okay to have a setback, because then you're preparing for the comeback. And you always have to allow yourself to have those moments, because there's all this pressure that we're never supposed to have a bad day. We're never supposed to be, we're always supposed to be perfect at
Right.
all times. I mean, even Ivan and I were on television, we always feel like we have to be perfect at all times, but in reality, no. We need to be ourselves, we are human. It's
Right.
okay to not always know it all, but for you, knowing that and accepting that, okay, today's not a good day, but I know that I'll fight through it, I think is so I would say admiring that you are able to push through. And again, it does go back from your foundation, your history in the Navy. I'm sure that really helped, but I think it's going back to that support system at home.
Yeah.
It really does come full circle.
Well, unfortunately, most people only see the end process, right?
Right.
And so
Right.
everyone congratulates you on the end process,
Right.
the end of it all. But it's the struggle that you go through that made you who you are today. You know.
Yes. What's the saying? It's all about the journey versus the destination, right? It's always about that.
That's true. I tell myself the old phrase: anything lost can be found again, except for time wasted. So the longer you wait to make sure that your health is in check, the harder it's going to be at the end. So if you start now, start early, and be serious about it.
Right.
Was there a time in your life, Hank, that you took health and just put it by the wayside? Like, yo, I'm always going to be good, you know, like being younger or anything?
Absolutely. You know, I could have cared less. You know, I watched people around me that are diabetics, that had seizures regularly. You know, didn't care, weren't taking their medication. You were out and about having fun. You really didn't care. Like you're invincible.
Right.
You know, that's
Right.
how we all are when we're younger.
Right.
You know, I'm about to be 48 in a couple of months. So, you know, it's like, you know, age isn't the factor, but you got to realize at some point, man, look, I got to start taking things serious. And for me, the turning point honestly was when it was the birth of my first son. That was my turning point. Like I gotta focus now. I gotta start taking things. I wanted a career, not a job anymore. I wanted to make sure I had proper health care, try to find me a career with a pension, something that I'll be able to hold on and something that can work for me in my years of retirement.
Right. Now, with all this, you still are finding a way to give back to nonprofits and DJing.
I try to. So in a couple of years back, I've been DJing for years, so one of the things I started doing, working with like Races to Run. I've done a few things with Christiana Care, Nemours, Fusion Fitness, and yes, I try to give back by providing free DJ services for those nonprofits, because the goal is to raise money, not to spend so much money.
Right.
So COVID hit, kind of took a hiatus. You know, a lot of events weren't going on. Companies and businesses and organizations are starting to get back into the swing of things. So, you know, I try to do my best whenever it's available. If somebody has something they want me to do.
You on it? You still on it?
Oh, I'm still on it.
Okay.
So how can they get in touch with you?
Easy. If anybody's interested and want to get in touch with me, they can reach me at itshankrose@yahoo.com, or they can give me a call, 302-373-1419. We utilize the name Action Entertainment Group of Delaware. And ultimately what we want to do is be able to give back. So if you have an event, I try to offer roughly anywhere between, you know, on average about 3 hours of free DJ services to some of those nonprofits. Nice. Anything after that, you know, then it's a fee associated with it, because you want to be able to use that money to be able to give back to the next group.
Right.
So,
Right.
You and I talked years ago, and I should have actually started a nonprofit, and I didn't, but at the end of the day, I try to help out where I can.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Well, Hank,
Thank
I'm
you.
going to make an award. We're going to make this damn award.
Yes, you have to.
What's that?
The Capeless Superhero Award.
I know he's like, no, I don't want it. And you know, that just shows your personality, your character, and who you are, that you're very humble, and you're like, no awards for me. I'm just, you know, being an example, being a role model to your family, your children, but fighting forward. So thank you for continuing to fight. Thank you for not giving up, and thank you for coming on the show and being very transparent about your story, because it is important that we share with our viewers about these stories. So thank you, Hank.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you very much.
Of course.
What's up, everyone? It's your main man, Big Ob, the talk of the town, Mr. DETVCH.com, and I'm here with my wonderful and amazing co-host,
Vincenza.
We just stopped by to tell you to be sure, if you want any information on what's going on in Wilmington and to meet some dynamic people doing some amazing and great things, be sure to watch us live on Good Morning Wilmington on Mondays and Wednesdays at 10 p.m.
Oh, Ivan, 10 a.m.
Which he said, 10 a.m.
Listen to me, that's why he has me here. But yes, tune in live, 10 a.m. Monday and Wednesday on Good Morning Wilmington.
DETVCH.com.